y'all, Melissa here with you today, and this is today's project. This is a pom-pom trimmed flowy swim cover, and if you can believe it, this is actually just a big rectangle. So meet me back at the camera and I'll show you how I sewed this up. Okay, let's take a look at the supplies that you'll need. You're gonna need your measuring tape because we need two key measurements here. First of all, you need to measure from your shoulder and determine how long you want this to be. And then you also need to measure how wide your shoulders are. Once you have those measurements, you're going to transfer them to your fabric. So you want to take the shoulder width measurement and you want to add at least 20 inches to that. That's going to give you 10 inches on either side to kind of hang down as the sleeves. And you want your fabric to be that wide. And then whatever your length was that you measured, you want to double that. And that's how long you need to make your fabric. So here is my fabric, and I ice-dyed this. And you can check out this link to see exactly how I did that. And I've cut it to those dimensions, double the length, and then the width of my shoulders plus 20 inches. In addition to the fabric, if you want trim, you're going to need to add up the four sides of the rectangle of fabric you cut, and then you're going to need to buy that many yards of trim. So I'm using this pom-pom trim here, and when I added mine up, it came out to just over 5 yards, of course, because this is just 5 yards. So I had to buy two because I will likely need to use them both. You're going to need some bias tape. About a yard is enough. And I also have a tutorial linked on how to make your own bias tape, which is what I did here. This is single fold bias tape. So you can purchase that or you can make your own. You're going to need elastic, thread, and you're gonna need a pattern piece. So it's in this link and also linked below. And when it prints out, it's gonna have these two pieces because it's actually on how to make like a tie on your shirt. And we're gonna use just this cutout piece here, this facing, and we're gonna use that cutout of fabric to make the little V notch in the neckline. So you only need to cut out this piece of the pattern. You do not need to cut out the tie. So the first thing you need to do with your fabric is you need to take it and we need to, this is my short waist, this is my shoulders plus 20. I need to fold it that way once, and then fold it again the other way. So we've got this folded in quarters, and we're first gonna deal with this corner here where it's all folds of fabric. There are no raw edges. And I'm going to take a marker. This is just a washable marker, and I need my measuring tape. And what you want to do from that edge is from the very tip of the corner there, you want to do markings at 3 inches all the way around. So we're basically gonna make like a circle cutout here, like that. Then I'm gonna cut that out. Okay, this is going to be your neck opening here. We want to then move to the part of the fabric that is all raw edges. There are no folds on this. It's just 4 layers, raw edge of the fabric. And what we wanna do is we wanna round this corner off. Okay, and that's what's gonna make those curves when you wear it at the bottom. Now what you need to do is you need to decide which side of your fabric is the front. So do I want this part with the lighter pink on the front on mine? Or do I want this part with the brighter pink? And I think I'm gonna go lighter pink in front. And you want to mark the center front here. All right, let me open the whole thing out. And you can see here is the center front of my neckline. So that's where I'm gonna end up lining up this little notch. And I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine and I want to stitch a 1/4 inch in from this inside edge of my V. Okay, once you have that stitched, you are going to very carefully cut out the fabric in the rest of the neckline here. And then you want to snip down to the stitching line in that V. And then I'm gonna pull in the iron. So what we are doing now is creating a right and a wrong side of the fabric. So this is the right side, and we're gonna press all of this around to the wrong side. I'm going to start by pressing it along the edges, right side up, and then flipping this over. We'll flip this to the inside and we'll press right along that stitching line. Then I want to turn the raw edges back towards the stitching line all the way around here. And even on this bottom edge, you can push it under and press. Okay, then I'm going to put this in the machine. Check your bobbin thread, because your bobbin thread's what's going to be showing on the right side. And you want to sew close to this folded edge all the way around the V. That'll reinforce it and it will keep this spacing secure. Okay, after you sew the little neck facing, it is time to put this over your head and make sure the neckline is as big as you want it. If it is not, you can always cut, not the notched part, but the rest of the neckline can be cut wider around than the notch. And now it's time to finish the rest of the neckline, and we're going to do that with the bias tape. Before I start pinning the bias tape on, I like to pre-steam it into the curve of the neckline. So to pre-steam my bias tape into the curved shape, I'm going to start at the notch. I have my bias tape wrong side up because it's going to end up getting sewn here. So I want the curve to match. And I'm just going to press it and curve it as I'm pressing. And you can see how it is holding that neckline curve. This is going to give you a much better finished result if you go ahead and do this step. Okay, so this is how my neck opening is going to curve. And I want to now open the bias tape and kind of try to keep it in the same place as where I've got it steamed. So I'm going to throw in a couple of pins poking into my wool pressing mat here, just to help kind of keep these curves aligned. Okay, next what I want to do is take this through my sewing machine, and I want to sew in the fold that is closest to the raw edge of the fabric. Okay, I have my cover wrong side up again. And if you watched carefully on the video, you will notice that I did not sew the entire end of the bias tape, and I left myself a little bit extra, and that is so that I can tuck that end in when I turn it to the wrong side. And then I just want to, I'm going to take my iron again, and we're going to press right along that seam line that we just sewed to finish up the bias tape and get it laying flat here. If you're ironing with your pins, make sure that you have glass head pins so they don't melt onto your fabric. Okay, here is my neckline. So I'm going to add pins around the edges, and then I'm going to stitch close to that folded edge. Check your bobbin thread because your bobbin thread is what's going to show on the right side. Okay, here is my finished neckline with the bias tape. And now it's time to finish the rest of the raw edges. And I'm going to use this pom-pom trim to do this. Now, you can take the pom-pom trim and you can pin it on. But what I like to do is just pick a point to start stitching. You want the pom-poms pointed towards the garment, and you just stitch right along the edge because we're going to do this in 2 passes. So the first pass will be right along the edge here. Then we will turn it under and we'll stitch again here. And so that raw edge will get hidden under the trim on the inside. You do need to switch to a zipper foot to sew this on. And like I said, I don't pin this, I just put it in my sewing machine and start sewing. Okay, y'all, I have my pom-pom trimmed swim cover on now. And if you want, you can be done at this point. You can just use this as a poncho, fold it up flat, and wear it like this. But if you want the sides to be a little more closed, you need to put this on and you need to figure out where's your waist. Where do you want that to get pinched in? And you're gonna mark that. I'm just gonna stick a pin here. Okay, so you can barely see it, but this is the fold line on my fabric from center front, and here is my pin where I marked my waist. What I want to do is take my waist measurement, then I want to divide it in two. So my waist measurement is 28 inches. I want to divide it in two, so I've got 14. Then I want to add 3 or 4 inches to that, depending on how fitted you want it in that area. So if I add 14 plus 3, I get 17, and I want to put half of that measurement to either side of this center front line at that waist level. So half of 17 is going to be 8.5. I'm going to put my ruler right there, and I'm going to draw a line here, and then on the other side I'm going to take it to 17. I do want to double check that I have measured the same amount from the hem on each side. So I'm about 14.5 inches from the hem on both sides, so that's good. And that 14.5 measurement is what I want to use on the back side of this as well. So I'm drawing on the wrong side here. Just make sure that that's clear. And I want to make sure I know where center back is. So there we go. There is my press line for center back. This fabric holds a crease pretty well. I'm gonna measure up the same amount here. So it was 14.5, so I'm gonna measure 14.5 up from my hem. Okay, with those 3 dots just placed approximately, I can now go 8.5 inches to either side and draw my line. I am going to use elastic thread to stitch on this line. And I'm not going to go over exactly how that works in this video because I have a whole video about how to set that up depending on what type of machine and what type of bobbin you have, and that is linked here. So make sure you check that out. But I'm going to sew 3 lines of elastic thread shirring, starting with this top line that I drew and then coming down and across. I'm going to do that on the front and on the back. Okay, here is the shirring that I sewed on the back, and what I want to do is fold this right sides together, and I want to take my shirring from the front and I want to make sure that is matching on the ends here. I'm going to go ahead and pin those together. And then I'll do the same thing with the other end. And then what I want to do on the machine is I'm going to stitch and back stitch right across those ends to hold them together there. Okay, y'all, once you have sewn that, you can trim off any extra threads on the ends. And this will stretch so that'll fit over your waist, and gently gather it in to give this just a little bit of shape if you want. Again, you can totally skip that step if you so desire. And make sure you check out this playlist for lots more ideas for summer sewing.